I don't believe Donald Trump can beat Joe Biden.
MAGA is in trouble. Well, maybe. We'll get to that later. Trump surely is, though. He faces 91 indictments in Georgia, New York, and with the feds. But this latest one may surprise you.
The real key here is this 59% of Haley voters who say that they would not vote for Donald Trump should he become the nominee.
It's no longer a secret.
He's going to leave that on the table, belonging to another candidate. All you need is 5% of the 30%. Yeah. We're talking about a sliver. Yeah. That's all you need to not vote for Donald Trump. Of this representative kind of voter in Michigan, in Pennsylvania, in Arizona, in Georgia. And so these are disastrous voting results for Donald Trump in the general election.
Even Republicans are finally sacking up and saying it out loud. Trump is mentally unfit and he's dangerous. But mostly, Trump is appearing to be something that Republicans cannot tolerate. No, not his unquestionable amoral character or his relationship with Putin. No, Trump is close to committing the worst sin in the Republican Party. He's appearing more and more to be unelectable.
Nearly every day, Trump drives people away, including with his comments just yesterday.
And she's not alone. The Republican Party has started to realize that Trump and MAGA have taken over the Republican Party. And that scenario isn't good for Republicans. It's only good for Trump's MAGA goons.
In terms of unity, though, Brett, I mean, has he looked at the House of Representatives lately? Has he looked at the GOP Senate? I don't see a unified party. I see a party where over half of her supporters right now would not vote for him.
But this is nothing new. Republican strategists knew that Trump's grip over rank-and-file conservatives would eventually fade.
That tracks with about 24% of the Republican Party, which is right along the lines of what that New York Times Siena poll showed us almost a year ago now, in terms of the makeup of the Republican Party, in which there was about 25% of Republicans who say that they are never Trumpers.
And right-wing media, which supported and aided in the 2020 election lie, have learned their lesson, especially Fox, to the tune of almost $1 billion.
Continue monitoring the president's remarks, and I mean no offense to him, or some of you might want to continue hearing, but I did have to say that even though the former president is entitled to his opinions, he's not entitled to his own set of facts. The market has indeed been going up, but having nothing to do with him and everything to do with this aggressive cut in interest rates, or does a hiking in interest rates that stabilized inflation, and of course the whole artificial intelligence phenomenon that has benefited NVIDIA and a host of companies that are making money hand over fist. So that, whether you want to give Biden credit for that, has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Furthermore, he mentioned about gas prices out of whack, $6 a gallon. The national average right now is $3.26 cents a gallon. He went on to talk about the 2020 election and how that was rigged. This has been adjudicated many times, dozens of times. It's been investigated by everyone and his uncle. No fewer than 44 investigations launched, some of them by judges that were picked by Donald Trump himself, that found no evidence of that.
And even Newsmax is getting the message that aligning themselves with Trump, not a good idea.
Never get tired of that guy. The president mentioned in his speech the 2020 elections. Newsmax as a network believes the results were legal and final.
So the question isn't whether or not Trump is toast, but why now, and what do Republicans do about it?
Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people.
I wasn't in office then.
There are a few reasons why Republicans are starting to turn, and ironically, his mental acuity doesn't seem to be number one.
He rambled. He's cognitively impaired.
Sure, he can't remember his wife's name.
Call up my wife, our great first lady. She was a great for people. Oh, look at that. Wow. Mercedes, that's pretty good. Yeah, she's good.
Or leaves out his son Eric when thanking supporters.
Melania, Barron, Don Jr. and Kimberly, Ivanka and Jared, Tiffany and Michael. They're so supportive. Got indicted a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And a lot of people said that's why the black people like me.
And honestly, the last 4 years of Trump's public appearances, it's been like watching a monkey try and write a term paper.
Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man.
As disturbing as these moments are, that's not what's frightening Republicans. It's the thought of catastrophic losses at state levels, in Congress, and of course, the White House. But they have no one else to blame. Republicans have allowed Trump to court the crazy evangelicals and their dark and disturbing vision for America.
If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination, they shall surely be put to death.
Over the weekend at CPAC, Trump's crazy religious invocations made it clear to independents and a huge number of Republicans that Trump has turned a party known for small government into a Southern Baptist revival with all the crazy baggage.
I will protect the content that is pro-God. We're going to protect pro-God.
But the Alabama embryo story may be the straw that broke the MAGA's back. When Kansas thwarted MAGA religious conservatives, the ruling was a big victory for abortion right advocates in Kansas, where a statewide vote back in August of 2022 decisively confirmed protections for abortion access under the state constitution. Hey, if you're losing Kansas to pro-choice, what does that say about abortion as an issue for Republicans?
There should never be room for this kind of control by force.
That's the AOC, and like her or not, she's dead on. The latest ruling by the Alabama Supreme Court that embryos are children shook the entire nation. And these aren't, as the Right to Lifers like to characterize, slutty women having sex for fun then killing their babies. The IVF decision involves people across the political spectrum, young Americans who desperately want children and can't conceive conventionally. And when Trump came forward and said, wait, I didn't want that, it was too little, too late.
In the way that they did. They're trying to walk it back now so that they don't look publicly accountable. But I want to be very clear that this was intentional and that this is exactly what Republicans have been going for. We've seen it. You have the Heritage Foundation, you have lots of folks who are on record saying, not only do they want to go after abortion, not only do they want to go after reproductive freedom, they're going after IVF, they're going after contraception.
The Trump-nominated judges on the Supreme Court have tipped the scales toward MAGA insanity, and women, civil libertarians, and yes, moderate Republicans, remember them? They've created a new generation of never-Trumpers. And that's why Nikki Haley isn't going anywhere. Haley thinks Trump can't be elected and points to polls where she beats Biden. And her loss in South Carolina, as Lawrence O'Donnell pointed out, could be a canary in a coal mine. Again, that number, 59% of her voters won't vote for Trump. And in a national poll against Biden, she picks up 3 times as many independents as Trump. It's been a tough 6 months for MAGA. First, when they jettisoned Kevin McCarthy from Mike Johnson's Holy Crusade, then the Hunter Biden debacle with even more ties to mass murderer Vladimir Putin. And of course, Trump's legal woes, where he could be convicted of multiple felonies by Election Day. But the truth is, as much as this makes me smile, seeing all this bad news, I can't help but wonder if this is deja vu all over again. Will the Republicans finally stand up to this creepy MAGA army, from Lindsey Graham to Ted Cruz to Dairy Queen to Jim I'll meet you in the showers Jordan? MAGA has a lot on the line. Seriously, the only future for these numbnuts is with this sociopath holding their hands. They have proven time and time again they have no moral character. And evangelicals are okay with that as long as they can live the Handmaid's Tale. And Nikki Haley, whom I respect as a brave soldier for decency, has also said she would pardon Trump, and that's inexcusable. His 91 indictments, his relationship with Putin, who is actively trying to harm Biden, and his attempted coup demand justice and consequences. MAGA, they can live without Trump, but they can only be defeated by the Republican Party. The question is, are they up to it? Subscribe, like, and hit notifications. For Really American, I'm Chip Franklin.
Who's with me? This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Damn right.
Tick-tock. You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.